Hello everyone, and welcome to our slow and soulful flow class. This practice is designed to give you a chance to move your body in harmony with your breathing and just be with yourself in a sweet and loving way. So I hope you enjoy it. You'll need a block and a blanket. Begin by lying on your back and draw your knees into your chest. And we'll start with a couple of minutes of just slow, intuitive movement, moving on your back in whatever way feels good. Connect with your breathing and allow your breath to become rhythmic, perhaps deeper. You might want to take a few good exhalations as well as you move. So just let your body guide you in whatever way it wants to move. You may wish to roll your ankles. You may wish to move your knees together or independent of each other. You may wish to move your arms a little bit. And then slowly coming back to a neutral position, bring your knees in. And take your knees slightly wider than your shoulders. Extend your lower legs and reach through your inner knees to hold the outer edges of your feet for happy baby. And you can either hold this still or you can slightly move if that feels good. Again, just rolling in whatever way feels good. I love starting practice lying down on my back lately because it just gives me a really nice way to start to come into connection with my body and with my breath in a way that feels really easeful and sweet. Okay, and then extend your legs straight, interlace your palms and stretch, reach. Get a nice full body stretch. And then release your arms, bend your knees, roll to your side, and come on to all fours. And take a moment here to roll again in whatever way feels good. You can do this with your eyes open or closed. Waking up some energy in the hips and the spine. And then coming back to a more neutral position. Be toward the back of your mat. And we'll take an extended child's pose to warm up the shoulders. So keeping your hips roughly over your knees. Walk your hands forward, reach your arms forward, and lower your forehead down toward the floor if that feels okay. Otherwise, you can keep it up if that feels better on your neck. Roll your sitting bones up. And reach through the sides of your body, reach your arms forward. Take a few breaths here. Walk your hands back, lift your head. Walk your hands over to the right, forward on the diagonal. And again, if it feels okay on your neck and your shoulders, lower your forehead down to the floor. Otherwise, you can keep it up. Roll your outer left hip back, reach through the left side of your rib cage. Walk your hands back to center and over to the right. Over to the left, rather. Roll your outer right hip back and reach. Breathe into the right side of your rib cage. Walk your hands back to center, back to all fours. Take your right leg forward into pigeon prep. Release your hips down. You can either stay upright here or walk your hands forward and lower your forearms down. If you tend to sit into that right hip, use a blanket to prop the hip up a little bit so you keep your hips more even right to left. And this will create a more balanced stretch in the hips. And we'll hold here for a few breaths. You can extend your back toes back. Just allow the energy of your legs and pelvis to settle down and back. Enjoy your breath. And with each exhalation, release into the stretch a little bit more. Okay, walk your hands back towards you. If you walked them forward, slowly slide your right knee back and bring your left knee forward and over to the left. Change the prop to under your left hip if you're using one. And if you did on the first side, walk your hands forward. And lower your forearms down. With each exhalation, release a little bit deeper into the stretch in the outer left hip. Allow the energy of your legs and your pelvis to move down and back like your pelvis is a heavy bowl, a heavy iron bowl, weighted. Okay, walk your hands back towards you if they're forward. Slide your left leg back. Shift your hips back and down into child's pose. Relax your arms in whatever position feels good. And again, imagine the pelvis, a heavy iron bowl, moving back and down as your lower back releases. Come back up onto all fours, grab a block, bring your right leg forward, and we'll take Crescent Lunge with a block supporting the thigh. So sometimes if I just move into Crescent Lunge, it doesn't feel so good on my hip and my pelvis there. So instead of working muscularly, another way to keep the thigh bone moving toward the back of the leg is just to use a prop there. So now I can release the pelvis again down. This time it's forward and down. But the top of the thigh bone stays lifting. So we'll take a few variations here. First, interlace your hands behind your back. Slightly bend your elbows, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, and stretch back through your arms. And of course, you can angle and adjust this block, right, in whatever way feels good to support you so that you're moving your pelvis forward and down, but you're just allowing the block, the position of the block, to resist the thigh upward toward the back of the leg. So roll your shoulders back. Keeping that position of your shoulders, release your hands, turn your palms to face away from you. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale here. Take a few breaths here. Lengthen your tailbone down. And from your low belly, start to lift the front of your body up. Take a little stretch into a little back bend. And now we'll move it into a twist. So bring your palms down the midline and twist to your right, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And then slowly release your hands down, slide your block to the side, and slide your right leg back. Take a brief child's pose. Let's go to the other side with that. Come back into table. Bring your left leg forward. Shift your hips forward and down. Use the block to support your thigh. And take a few breaths here in Crescent Lunge. Interlace your hands with your non-dominant thumb in the front this time. Bend your elbows, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, stretch back through your arms. I'm going to adjust the block a little bit as my hips open a little bit, and they want to move forward and down a little bit deeper into the lunge. Keep that position of your shoulders. Release your hands, turn your palms away from you. Inhale, sweep your arms up, like your arms were wings starting from the spine between your shoulder blades. Reach up. Lengthen your tailbone down, and from your low belly, lift the front of your body up, reach back slightly. Bring your palms down through the midline, twist to your left. And release your hands. Slide your block away. Slide your left leg back. Sit back in child's pose. Take a few breaths here. Keeping your hips moving back and down. Reach your arms forward. Reach your hands forward. Maintaining that distance between your hands and your feet. Separate your knees hip distance apart, extend your toes back, curl your toes under, raise your hips up, and stretch back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Move into this dog pose in whatever way feels good. Pedal the feet, shift the hips. You can lift one leg up if you want. Make your way back to full dog pose if you're doing any of those variations. Look forward, walk forward, Uttanasana. Take your hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine, come up, sweep your arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, your palms together in front of your heart. We'll do a few rounds of Surya Namaskar now. Sweet, soulful flow, moving with the breath. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. Exhale, step your right leg back, straight leg lunge. Just really mindful, slow. Step back, downward dog. Exhale your breath. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, chaturanga or 8-point pose. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, left leg forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Sweep your arms overhead as you come up to standing. Exhale, palms together in the center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, right leg back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, right leg forward. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Again, like that. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg forward. Exhale, left leg forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, palms together. Let's go to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, right leg back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, Back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg forward. Exhale, right leg forward. Stay here in Uttanasana. Draw lightly from the tops of your knees to the tops of your thighs. Just a gentle hugging of the muscle onto the bones. Not hard. Just stable enough to steady the legs. Allow the spine to release. Keeping that gentle engagement of your legs, take your hands to your hips. Lengthen your spine, come up to standing. Release your arms down. Take a moment in Tadasana to connect with your breath. Feel that the breath is like an inner embrace, holding the full range of your experience in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. Be with your breath. Okay, we're going to do a couple of standing poses now from a wide stance. Let's start with wide standing forward bend, and we're going to come back to wide standing forward bend between our standing poses today. So with your toes pointing straight ahead or turned slightly in if you have a sensitive lower back. With your hands on your hips, lift your chest, take the tops of your arms back, exhale and fold forward from the tops of your legs back. So just going right into the forward bend today. Again, create that gentle engagement in the front of the thighs that deepens the hip creases from the tops of the knees to the tops of the legs. Now, from your buttock bones, extend down the backs of your legs back into your heels. Notice how this will release the lower back, perhaps a little bit, and also allow the spine to release. So the whole back body, from the buttock bones down through your heels, and from your lower back out through the back of your neck and the back of your head. Release. Okay, take your hands to your hips, come up. Let's do triangle pose. Turn your left toes in and your right leg and foot open. Use your block as you wish, or you can just take your hand down to your shin or your ankle. Stretch your arms up. Exhale, take your torso over to the right. Just a few breaths here. Won't hold too long. Create that gentle engagement in your thighs. Extend energy down through your legs and extend your spine. Exhale your breath. Inhale, come up, change sides. Take your torso over to the left. We are going to move through all the classes of poses today and move the spine in all the 6 planes of movement. So here's side bending. Exhale your breath. Inhale, come up, prasarita. This will count as our inversion. So releasing the spine down and forward. Allow the back of your neck to release. Soften your face. Enjoy your breath. Take your hands to your hips, lengthen your spine, come up to standing. Turn your left toes in, right leg and foot open, bend your front knee to a square, extended side angle. Forearm can go on the thigh, it can go on a block. From here, we're going to move right into half moon pose, or to Chandrasana. So take your left hand to your hip, look forward. Take your block as you need to out beyond the little toe side of your foot to hold your hand, to support your hand as needed, and stretch your leg up. Stretch your arm up. either stay here or bending your top leg into Chapasana. Hold the back of the foot. At first, bring it in for a thigh stretch, so heel to hip. And then move it more into a bow shape, more like a back bend by slightly bending your left elbow, roll your left shoulder back, and then reach. So roll your right buttock bone under strongly to counteract so you don't fall back. And then extend your foot back behind you. Release. And back to side angle for a breath. Exhale your breath. Inhale, come up. Let's go to the other side with that. Turn your right toes in, left leg and foot open. Bend your front knee. Take Parshvakonasana to the left. Ardha Chandrasana. Shapasana. First thigh stretch, then bow. Roll your left buttock bone under. Reach your right foot back. Slightly bend your right elbow, roll your right shoulder back to get a little bit more out of it in the upper back. Release the bow. Side angle. Inhale, come up. Prasarita Padottanasana. Take your hands to your hips, lift your chest, come up. Parshvottanasana from this wide stance. Narrow your feet slightly. Take your arms out to the sides. Turn your arms in, and then bring them behind your back for reverse namaste. So you can have the fingers pointing down. At first, you can even hold your elbows behind you. Or full pose is fingers pointing up, so it looks like this. So the options I mentioned are here. That's a little bit easier. This is easier still, so any of those. Let's go to the right first. Turn your left toes deeply in, your right leg and foot open. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Exhale and bow forward. Over your right leg. Forehead down. This is hard for your lower back or just too much for your legs. By all means, use your hands on the floor or on blocks. Pivot your feet, wide standing forward bend. Inhale, come up, change sides. Lift your chest, take your shoulders back. Exhale and bow forward. Pivot your feet, wide standing forward bend. Inhale to come up. Release your hands slowly. Roll your wrists a little bit to release the wrists. And roll your shoulders a little bit. Step your feet together. Come down onto the floor. Let's take Virasana. If Virasana does not work for your knees, please take a cross-legged position or sit on a chair, whatever works. Sit back between your heels. Up on a block if you'd like. Use your hands to release the skin under the knees and allow the hip creases to be deep and soft. We'll take a twist here. Take your left hand to the outside of your right knee, right fingertips behind you. So you may want to have your fingertips up. If you have a second block, use that. I'm going to use my blanket just to have something to press into, especially if you're sitting up on something. Then you'll need your hand a little bit higher unless you have very long arms. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Twist in this way a few more times, creating length and space on the inhalation, that inner embrace of the breath, and the release into the movement of the twist on the exhalation. After your next exhale, inhale to come up and change sides. Inhale, lengthen and open. Exhale, release and twist. After your next exhalation, inhale to release and come back to center. Let's do another seated twist, Bharadvajasana 1. Sitting on a blanket to support your right sitting bone. Shift your hips to the right, take your feet to the left. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee, right fingertips behind you, either on the floor or on the block, whatever allows you to press firmly in a way that allows your spine to lengthen. And we'll move in the same way as in the previous pose. Inhale, create space and open. Exhale, release and move deeper into the twist. Allow your legs and your hips to release down, maintaining that heavy grounded quality of the pelvis, the iron bowl of the pelvis. And stretch your spine up from there. After your next exhalation, inhale to keep the lift of the chest, come back to center, and change sides. Bring your hips to the left, feet to the right. A good rule of thumb for the twists is to keep your nose in line with your sternum. That way you'll be sure you're not just twisting with your neck and your head, but you're twisting with your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, release and move. Keeping that nose in line with your sternum, and it keeps you honest, right? The twists don't need to be big actions, right, to be powerful and to be effective. Release your legs and your pelvis down, extend your spine out. After your next exhalation, inhale to come back to center. Sit on your heels in Vajrasana. Okay, we're going to go into a supported back bend now to start our finishing poses. So a couple of options for that. The gentler version of supported back bend will be to take a blanket and make it into a tight roll. And to place that roll and lie back over it. And position it so that as you lie back, it's in line with the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Arms can be in cactus, they can be out to the side, whatever feels good with your legs straight. A stronger version will be with the block, where you can place the block lengthwise or at the highest height. If it's at the highest height, it'll go in line with your spine right between your shoulder blades. Otherwise, it can go here. Again, at the bottom tips of the shoulder blades. Lie back. We'll be here for a minute or two. Again, have your arms in whatever position feels good. The shoulders may not touch the floor, that's fine. You can also use a second block under your head as you need to for your neck. Release the skin and muscles of your upper back into the support of your prop. And from that release of the back body, allow your chest to slightly lift and open, the sternum, the breastbone broadening. If your legs are straight, slowly bend your knees. Press your elbows down and either use one hand to lift your chin up toward your sternum or leave the head to come last. Either way, press yourself up to sitting by lifting your chest. Be here for a moment. Allow your shoulders and your upper back to release with the embrace of your breath. Move your prop to the side. Lie down on your back. Draw your knees into your chest again. And this time we'll take a spinal twist. So lower your feet down to the floor for a moment. Shift your hips to the right side of your mat. Draw your knees in. And lower your knees down to your left. You can use your left hand to the top of the right knee to slightly shift your rib to the left a little bit more. And shoulder. A few breaths here. You can adjust the position and the angle of your knees to give you the best release, whatever feels good for your lower back. Twist your spine and your belly from the left to the right. After your next exhalation, breathe in, come back to center, place your feet on the floor, shift your hips to the left, draw your knees in, and take your knees over to the right. Again, using your top hand, tack the knee down. Your right hand to your left knee. Slightly shift your rib cage, if that worked for you on the first side, over to the right. Twist from the right to the left. come back to center. Bring your hips back to the middle, and we'll finish with a few moments of belly breathing. So separate your feet wide and allow your knees to come together, and adjust the distance of your feet to your hips so that your thighs can relax completely, your belly can relax completely. So no holding in your thighs, no holding in your belly. Just find that sweet spot where you can release and bring your hands to your lower belly. Close your eyes. Again, imagine the pelvis, a heavy iron bowl, and the breath like an oil releasing down, filling that bowl. It's nourishing. It's edifying. A few moments of belly breathing. Enjoy. Can either continue to rest in this position or extend your legs straight and take whatever props and support you need to relax for a few moments in Shavasana. Enjoy your breathing. Allow your breath now to gently expand. Feeling the sweet embrace of the breath moving through your whole inner being, touching every part of yourself. Hold that inner feeling as you gently begin to move the body. If your knees are still bent, you can simply draw your knees into your chest and again, lightly move in whatever way feels good. Slowly roll all the way over to your right side. Take a few breaths here in the fetal position. And then keeping your face soft, use your hand to press yourself up to sitting with your head coming last. Take a comfortable seated posture with your eyes closed to just sit with the inner effects of your practice. Slowly draw your hands together in the center of your chest. And we'll close with one Om together. Exhale your breath. Breathe into the back of your body. To the light in you, I bow. Namaste. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.